And the key problem in it is the technique, so-called object-oriented programming. And the key point in this kind of programming is objects and properties. So I will explain these things through examples. And apart from this, also I will talk about UI control, which is a low-level things, and menu, UI menu. And functions, set and get. So these are the related topics. So before we start, we can consider an example, very simple example, and then I will demonstrate on how can we program for an interface where we can use PID parameters. Let's consider a very simple example. If you want to design an interface where you will click OK and it will display something here. This is a very simple example, and I will show you how these buttons or objects related. So let's start. First, we can use a command guide for GUI development environment. If you give a command like this, you will be given the very first interface, which allows you to create a blank GUI or to create a GUI with existing UI controls without the buttons or these kind of things. Or you can create a GUI with the access and the manual system. I will explain them later for you. And you can create a model dialog box, which means that the size of the toolbox of this box is not changeable. So let's start by the blank GUI, which if you click it, you will get the interface like this. And this is the design environment where this part in the in this corner is the actual graphical user interface you will have later. So you can resize this part, and also you can change the properties of it. You can resize it. And then, as I said, we need a button here. And also we need a static text point, static. And these ones are called controls or UI controls, user interface controls. So we can draw a button there, the OK button. You can draw it easily, and also the static text. So we have already these two UI controls. Now our target is that if we click this button, I want the UI interface to display something like hello world or something like that. So what we need to do? To do this, we have to change the properties of these objects. And before that, for normal programming, we'd better assign them handles so that you can find it later. So what we need to do is to change the properties of this UI control. Double click it, you will see that there is a property list. that there are quite a lot of properties for each object. And here, the most important one is the text. I will explain that one in detail later. Here, I just want you to modify it to a string which is easily memorizable. For instance, you can change it to txt hello. This is not the final string which is to be displayed here. It's just a name. You can use a tag here. And we can change the properties such as the foreground color or background color, like this. That's no problem. So this is a text color, not very clear. So we can also set other properties like the size of font. We can set it otherwise. Change the color to something red. Okay. You can reset it easily. You can run the program. Before you run, you have to save it to a file. And it will generate two files. One is test.m, the other one is .big files. And this one is used to describe the interface, and this one is used to perform certain functions. You have to program later in this file. So we just gave a name here, my test, and save it. And this is the final result of the program, and this is the .n file. You need to modify this part later according to your needs. So if you click it, there's nothing happens because you haven't programmed anything for this one. So how can we modify the program so that if you click it, this one will be changed to hello world? You have to program the callback function to it. Callback. Which means that if you click the item, then it will call this certain function. So you have to program your own callback function. To do this, you have to right-click your button at this button at this object, and then there is one view callbacks. There are certain kinds of callbacks. I think you better sit to the front so that you can see them clearly. There is an item called the view for callbacks, and there are callback function itself, and there are other functions. I will explain that one later to you. So what you need to do is to modify the callback function. If you click it, you will return to the Matlab editor. So what you need to do is to write something behind this line. And there are certain arguments which is automatically generated. What you actually need is this one.